This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop. This is a sham. Welcome to DBL. Happy Thursday. Wow, I wish the cameras were rolling 5 seconds. Is my chair where it's supposed to be? It's not? It's on the blue mark? It's on the blue mark? No. All right. Is that better? All right. Welcome to DBL. All right, guys, let's get into it. The Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial is almost over, with closing arguments expected to happen tomorrow. Lawyers on both sides are pulling out all the stops, bringing multiple witnesses to the stand over the past couple of days. One of the biggest names on that list is Johnny's ex-girlfriend, Kate Moss. The model joined via Zoom, and you know what I just noticed?
What?
Janine is looking over my shoulder while all this shuffling is going on. Speaking of body language, to help us make sense of all this testimony, please welcome our favorite body language expert who spent 18 years as an investigator with federal law enforcement. She's also CEO of the Body Language Institute, Janine Driver, everybody.
Janine, welcome, welcome. We love you. Okay,
Thank you.
Let's talk about Kate Moss first, because she testified Amber had previously mentioned some alleged abuse of Kate. But yesterday, Kate told her side of the story, so let's take a listen.
Johnny left the room before I did, and there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room I slid down the stairs and I hurt my back. He never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs.
So what did you make of Kate's testimony?
Authentic, number one. First of all, she talks about in past tense. Johnny left the room. It had been raining. I slid down the stairs. I hurt my back. So when we're remembering trauma, even something slipping down the stairs from years ago, we talk in past tense, which we're not hearing with Amber, but we do hear with Johnny, and we do hear in this testimony here. Also, she says I is ownership. So she's saying, I did this. I slid down the room. I slid down the stairs. So this is ownership. Her illustrators match what she's saying. In a hot second, if you had played that a little longer, you'd see Johnny came running up the stairs to help her. An illustrator helps us tell the story, and it is often used a half a beat before when it's authentic. Some people might not use hand gestures at all. So we're looking at someone like Amber, who uses hand gestures when she talks about Johnny not liking what kind of clothes she's wearing, or hey kid, if that's how you want to be remembered. She'll use hand gestures, but yet she uses the wrong hand gestures or none when talking about attacks. So here we see the truth.
That's so interesting. All right, Johnny returned to the stand as well, but first we want to get your opinion on one of Amber's biggest reactions that I've seen when her team read out loud text messages from Johnny wishing death upon her. Amber visibly got emotional. Can you just unpack as what we're watching here, just narrate what we're seeing and what you saw?
Finally, authentic sadness makes an appearance on Amber's face in the courtroom. The difference between this sadness and the fake sadness we saw in the stand is when kids try to fake cry, they do this, right? They're like, this is not crying, it's sulking. Have you ever sat home alone and just sulked?
That's every day, honey. That's every day.
Crying. You've sat home crying and being sad and being heartbroken.
Yeah.
But this right here is authentic sadness. The inner eyebrows are pulled together and up. We have 43 muscles on the face. I may have said 42 in the earlier segment, but it's 43. And I have a motto. It's this: when brows are together and up, sadness is filling their cup, like we see here. When brows and mouth are down, sulking is in town.
Good to
You know Tori is going to use that. I am going to use that. I am going to use that.
Unless you're going to say, I came up with this.
Yeah, no.
Yes. All right. So, Janine, things got tense while Johnny was on the stand, specifically when Amber's lawyers brought up the old text messages. Let's play a clip of that.
That's not anything that I've ever said or written.
You want to see the whole thing unredacted? We can look at that too.
No, because you could have typed it up last night. No.
Yeah. I can assure you I didn't type it up last night, Mr. Depp.
So how do you believe Johnny handled this portion of his cross-examination?
I think this part could be a little messy, but here's the saving grace, I think, for Johnny. Before he even saw it, He goes, I know this is something I wouldn't say. There are certain things. I love diversity. I've dated every kind of person on earth. I've dated black men, Asian men. I've dated Hispanic men. I've dated a couple women back in the day. Like, you could never tell me that I would ever use a disparaging remark towards any color or religion. Everybody. I'm a Middle Eastern guy I hooked up with a couple of months back, 7 months ago, right? So I've all religions, all colors. If you told me I said something that was derogatory towards race or religion, I would say that's impossible, because I know it's not who I am and it's not my character. It's against who I am as a human. So his saving grace is, he said it before even, he goes, show me whatever you want, because I know as a fact this isn't who I am. I would never say something like that.
Janine,
just not in his DNA.
We only got like 5 seconds left, but I wanted to ask real quickly, as far as your body language expert, as far as a professional show goes, how did we start the show?
You did great. Your chair was a little off mark, so it's okay because you recovered. You recovered like really quickly. Here's the deal. It wasn't fake happiness. Even though you recovered, you had an authentic smile, so you must like what you're doing over there.
Janine, I like you, that's for sure. Janine, thank you so much for your expert analysis. For everyone at home, you can learn more about what's going on in the trial and what body language really means by checking out Janine's TikTok at Body Language Institute. Janine, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you guys. Have a good day.
You too, you too. Coming up on DBL, our interview with actor Ron Perlman. Could you see him do a comedy in the future? And Priscilla Presley attends the new Elvis movie premiere. What did she think about it? We're going to talk about it next.
Closed captioning provided by
That felt so real.
But she was just like, I dated a dude from the Middle East. I dated some women, like, recently.
It was really cool.
It was so great. So shout out to, and I do like the idea of, like, yeah, some people are in long-term monogamous relationships, some people are not, but some people are just kind of like enjoying life and meeting new people and having different, shorter-term relationships. I think
you've always told me that, like, you don't ever think of them as failures. It's just once one's finished, it's a relationship it's like a balloon.
Every
you
relationship that doesn't end with both of you guys dying doesn't mean that it's a failure. Right. It just means like, yo, we had a great time in college, but we went differently. You're like, I lived in this town and then I moved. And
or we divorced and we had that moment.
Me and my ex-wife are very, very cool.
I like that. And you like her new
I love her,
right?
Yeah. So yes,
so cool.
Absolutely. I want her to be happy.
I know.
I mean, there's some bands can be around my children.
I
so,
know.
like, it's very strange for you to hate on your ex's
I hope
music.
that divorce situation is like moving on to more co-parenting.
You know what?
I hope it is.
She and I basically had to confront our lawyer. And she's like, we don't know the legal terms, but we don't care.
Yeah, right.
What do we need to do to send this? Because they're like, well, you need to go into their discovery and find out their financial, what they make in the sin. And we're like,
he's like,
no.
yeah,
because they want more money.
I can't imagine if we were a fight. I cannot imagine.
It goes for years.
I
It goes for
cannot
years
imagine.
and years and years.
Welcome back to DBL. 12 minutes. That's how long, if we were playing Mad Libs, what would you fill in here?
I was going to say 12 minutes. Oh, boy.
Use your imagination. That's how long the standing ovation.
I mean, like 12 minutes.
Yeah, good for you.
Who's a champion? All right, let's get back to it. 12 minutes. That's how long the standing ovation lasted for the new Elvis biopic. Get your minds out of the gutter. Priscilla Presley was there as the movie played at the Cannes Film Festival yesterday. Sources say she was overcome with emotion during the applause, reportedly wiping away tears. Listen, we joked around 12-minute standing ovation. Have you guys felt this way about a movie or anything?
No. I don't know. No. I have very, very fragile hands. I can't clap for that long.
Well, usually, like, when you clap for that long, it's usually like an aria.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you not going to address what Erica just said?
She's fragile.
Because she said a sentence that no human being has ever said before, and I will put my life on the line.
No, because some people are like Nicole Kidman. She did this because of her hands, so I get it.
Is that a nails thing? You can't
I have fragile hands. Like, you know, certain things I can't, like I have very, my grip isn't great.
Okay.
My grip isn't good.
It's not.
But usually long ovations happen in like Italian operas, you know, when they throw roses and they're like, bravo, for like 3 or 4 minutes. 12 minutes? I've never heard of an ovation lasting that long.
The only thing that comes to maybe top of mind is like the first time Hamilton played or something.
Or like Jurassic Park.
Or maybe some famous athlete is retiring.
Yeah.
Something. But I just, 12 minutes is a long time.
Long time.
Yeah. I kind of want to get a pickle jar and see if Erica can open it.
I can't.
Do we have anything in the back that's...
Well,
we don't need to put it on display.
Okay. I cannot
She said she can't, so I mean, I don't know what we're testing.
Yeah, it's just a thing, you know, like I don't mind. My husband is very chivalrous for a lot of reasons, mainly because we don't have the type of time to wait for me to open things.
It is a man's job to open that pickle jar. The trick is you got to hit the bottom, pop it.
We open a lot of pickle jars in my house.
Me too. All right, so this is a very weird thing
Can you hear what they said in your ear? We can get to that.
Yeah, they're going on. It's getting very weird. All right, if you became a millionaire at 18, this one's for Al. What would you buy? Bobby Brown is talking about his spending habits in his new documentary. Let's take a look first.
No, I'd be driving down the street on the tour bus, see somebody in a car and like the car and pull the car over and buy the car and ride it throughout that city that day and just leave the car at the airport or at the hotel.
Bobby says he once spent $1 million in a day just because he could.
You know, people do what you want to do with your money, but we also have to say that he don't got that kind of money right now.
No, he does not.
There is a consequence to that. But I had a friend in Chicago that when we'd go into a restaurant, if there was a certain table that he wanted, he would have the waiter approach and say, your meal's taken care of, plus anything extra that you want. If you leave the table right now, we'll reseat you.
See you later.
and
just running away.
Yes, and so people would be like, okay. Like one time there was I think the guy and the girl were on a date, and then they had some other friends, like, you know, it was like a couple or whatever, some other friends at the table, and the girl was like, no. And the guy was like, I'm paying. And he started moving all the stuff. He's like, where do you want us? Like, with the glasses. So people do interesting things with their money.
Can it be said that also good for him? I'm sorry. We all die at the end of this. So if you're 18 years old and you got $1 million to spend, is it a good idea? No. Financially, would our financial guy not be happy? Yeah, he probably wouldn't. But at 18, have at it. Have at it for a day. I know it's irresponsible and stupid and dumb, and it probably led to some other things that weren't so great, but for that day to be 18 years old and be Bobby Brown riding around your city when you came up from the dirt,
that's also
where do you go from there, though?
I don't know, Erica, but for that day, that one day in time, you get to be a Bobby Brown.
That's
oh, go ahead, please.
No, I think that's like people who spend like 20 years of money on a wedding. Like, you don't get to have that day again.
Oh, it's wildly irresponsible, Erica. I'm not saying that you should do it. I'm just saying I get it. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Right.
I'm saying I get it, and I might do it.
Oprah always said use all the bath salts as like a metaphor for like just you die at the end. Use what you want. You dump all the bath salts at some point. Although that is wildly.
I don't know what that means.
Meaning she was in the bath one day and she was using just a little bath salts and she's like, I'm Oprah. You know what? I die at the end of this. She dumped the whole thing and she was like, I had the best bath in the world.
But wouldn't it be wildly acidic if you did that?
Oh my gosh.
Listen, guys, if this was live, we would or it wasn't live, we'd start retaping right now, like from the beginning.
This show. This has been my favorite show.
Remember Brewster's Millions? You guys ever watched that?
Richard Pryor.
Good movie.
The bath salts are just nothing, huh?
That was
horrendous.
horrendous.
Why would you want a ton of salt?
Al, that was wildly horrendous. Coming up on DBL, we talk with Ron Perlman about his latest movie where he plays a cartel boss. This is tape package. We won't screw it up.
With summer right around the corner, more people are running to the thermostat to cool down their home. But what are the best ways to save on your energy bill? Let's verify. For these questions, we went to Logan Kreska, lead communications consultant at Duke Energy and the Federal Conservation Program Energy Star. The first question, is it cheaper to leave your air conditioner on all day than to turn it off when you're gone?
If you're leaving home just for the day, it's definitely more energy efficient to keep your air conditioning turned on. Just turn it up a few degrees higher than you might set it for comfort if you were at home.
Kreska says the reason behind this is because it will take more energy to start up your AC and cool your home down. So we can verify that, yes, it is cheaper to leave your AC on all day. The next question, is there a temperature you should leave your air conditioner at to save the most money throughout the day? According to this graph by Energy Star, in the summer to save the most money, they suggest keeping your air conditioning at 78 degrees when you wake up, 85 degrees during the day, and 82 degrees when you're sleeping. But if you're like me, those temperatures are way too hot. So Kreska suggests bumping up the temp to where you feel the most comfortable.
If you raise the temperature by just 2 degrees, this is, 2 degrees more than what you're generally comfortable with inside the house, what makes you feel cool. This is going to help you reduce your cooling costs by 5%.
So we can verify that, yes, there's a temperature you should leave your air conditioner at to save the most money throughout the day. And finally, will leaving the ceiling fan on all day cool your home?
Fans don't cool homes, they don't cool rooms, they cool people. So if you're in the home, turn that fan on.
The fan can cool you down about 4 degrees, so Kreska says it's good to keep it on when you're home, but turn it off when you leave to get the most bang for your buck. So we can verify that no, the ceiling fan does not cool your home. With your verify.
He protects the world, leads a motorcycle club, and is now a cartel boss. But will we ever see Ron Perlman in a comedy? Earlier, he told us about his comedic roots. Check it out.
Ron
My man, yes.
Welcome to DBL.
All things to all people.
So we have to start with a big congratulations because you are officially a grandparent.
Oh,
What's it
yeah.
like being a grandpa?
I had forgotten I was a grandpa. I better check in with the kids. I never thought that I needed grandkids until my son told me that he and my daughter-in-law were about to have one. And so I suddenly got incredibly excited. And since he's now come into the world and become a reality that you can look at and hold and touch and imagine years and years and years of me corrupting him, which is my plan. It's been quite trippy and quite wonderful, yeah.
I love it.
I love it too, Ron. Congratulations. But let's get to your career a little bit now, because you're not afraid of doing your own stunts. I want to know, Ron, what's the worst injury that you ever had doing one of these stunts?
Usually in movies, you jump onto a train that's either going past you sideways or you're catching up with it and jumping onto the back of it. I, being Hellboy, with, limited skill set, jumped onto a train as it was coming toward me. And I hit my rib cage and cracked a couple of ribs, and you could see tears just coming down my eyes. There was nothing emotional happening. It was all purely, what a completely rookie move that was.
Now, I want to talk about your new role, because you play a ruthless cartel boss in the new film, There Are No Saints. Now, how did you prepare for this role? Like, did you research any cartels, and were they cool with that?
Yeah, watch out.
I just called all my dealers, that, what would you do in a situation like this? And, I got a lot of feedback. You just, I don't know. It's kind of like alchemy when you are offered something that you don't really have a frame of reference for real, but you've heard enough news about it and you've watched the impact that they've had on society, and that's what the actor has to do, is get in touch with those facets of himself that are a little bit more ruthless than he normally is, a little bit more craving of power than he normally is, a little bit more cold-blooded, etc. And that's the job.
Well, Ron, speaking of different facets, I mean, you are funny. Your dry sense of humor is cracking me up. I did not expect this. So you always play the tough guy. Does it bother you that you are always that sort of character? Do you want to be in a comedy now that you have a grandkid, maybe in animation?
I do a tremendous amount of animation. I do a lot of Saturday morning cartoons, have done since the early 90s. I've done a couple of big animated movies. I love doing that stuff. And then when comedy comes around, I usually have to work for free because nobody believes that's my wheelhouse. My first ever appearance on stage was trying my hand at stand-up, which didn't work out so good. So I went scripted, just to find something I could hide behind. But no, comedy was my first love. And when I got to Hollywood, everybody looked at this kind of like gawky looking, simian type structures and 6'2" and not particularly handsome, but not all that ugly. Like, what do we do with this guy? I'm like my bad guy.
I see a comedy duo between you and Will Ferrell. I think you, because you look similar. I'm putting it out there, Ron. I could be your agent.
We're putting it in the universe.
Okay. Let me know what he says. I'm sure. Stay by the phone and give me a call.
I will.
All right.
Ron, thank you so much for joining us here in DBL. To our viewers, There Are No Saints. Hit select theaters May 27th. Look for a comedy with him in it in the near future, we hope. We'll be right back. Thank you, Ron.
Step Brothers 2.
Rom-com.
Yeah, I like that.
The Other Brother.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
On May 24th, 19 children and 2 teachers were shot and killed at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, 85 miles west of San Antonio. According to Lieutenant Christopher Olivares of the Texas Department of Public Safety, the 18-year-old gunman was shot and killed by law enforcement. It's the 27th school shooting in the U.S. this year and the country's deadliest since December 2012, when a gunman killed 20 children and 6 adults at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut. Following the Uvalde tragedy, podcaster Brian Tyler Cohen wrote a viral tweet thread claiming that this year more children have been killed in school shootings than police officers have been shot and killed in the line of duty. But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources are Education Week's 2022 School Shooting Tracker, the School Shooting Database Project run by the Center for Homeland Defense and Security, the FBI, and 2 nonprofits dedicated to honoring America's fallen law enforcement officers. Independent data from Education Week's 2022 School Shooting Tracker and the Center for Homeland Defense and Security show that as of May 25th, 24 minors have been killed in school shootings this year. That includes the 19 children killed in Uvalde. As of May 1st, 2022, preliminary FBI data shows that 17 police officers have been killed by firearms in the line of duty this year. The Officers Down Memorial page and the National Law Enforcement Memorial Fund also track the number of police deaths per year based on submissions and their own research. As of May 25th, the Officers Down Memorial page shows that 21 police officers have been killed by firearms in the line of duty this year, and the National Law Enforcement Memorial Fund lists 20. That puts on-duty law enforcement officer gunfire deaths between 17 and 21 so far this year. That's less than the 24 children who died in school shootings this year. So we can verify, yes, more children died in school shootings in 2022 than police officers died by gunfire in the line of duty. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Is it getting harder to pick the right sunscreen? Let's connect the dots. We know sunscreen is essential to cut the risk of skin cancer, reduce wrinkles, and even slow the effects of aging. But a new report from the Environmental Working Group says about 75% of sunscreens on the market have inferior protection. It comes after several studies found some sunscreens contain the chemicals oxybenzone and octinazate. They've been linked to hormone issues and shorter pregnancy. More research is needed, and the FDA has asked manufacturers to test more. But so far, the agency has allowed products containing the chemicals to stay in the market. So, what is safe to use? Turns out, old-fashioned zinc oxide. You know the stuff that leaves you with a white nose? It's because it acts as a physical barrier to the sun instead of being absorbed into your skin like chemical sunscreen. And that is connecting the dots.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Can you believe summer is almost here? Well, we've got some Summer Jam deals for you today. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today?
First up, we've got the Polar Pack printed backpack cooler with a front pocket. So this deal includes one pack. These backpacks are fully insulated and they allow you to carry your favorite foods and beverages around all day whilst keeping them cool. So normally these are $40. We are selling them for you guys for $17, which means you are saving 58%. Now, Tori, this next deal is a must-have. We've got a 2-pack of reverse umbrella compact umbrellas. So the deal includes 2 umbrellas. It's got a double layer canopy and an inverted design, meaning it closes away from you.
Oh, wow.
To ensure that you stay dry all of the time. So normally they're $40, so they're $20 each for each umbrella.
Okay.
But right now it's $20 for the pair.
For both of them?
For both of them, Tori, which is saving 50%. We've got the Jazz Cool Premium 20 level deep tissue percussion massager. So this deal includes 1 percussion massager and 6 different attachments and a storage case. So it's got 20 different speeds, so you'll feel in control using it, helping increase your blood flow and circulation, and which will increase your overall flexibility. So normally this is $130, but we've got it for $39. That's 70% off. And for our last product today, we've got Measurable Difference Ultrasonic Beauty Massager. So this deal comes with 1 beauty massager. So this will produce 1 million vibrations per second.
What?
I know. And I love how it exfoliates dead skin cells too, which you know is going to make your products absorb and work better. So normally this is $50.
Okay.
But we've got it for only $15.
15?
Which saves everyone 70%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even go ahead and scan that QR code on screen and it will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph.
All right, before we go, we have some very, very sad news to share. Actor Ray Liotta has passed away at 67 years old. He was shooting a movie in the Dominican Republic, and according to a close source, he died in his sleep. No other information has been released. I saw this on the way to work today, and I was
thinking of you.
shocked.
Goodfellas.
I thought about you too.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I know you're a big fan of his movie, so am I. It's just like shocking, you know?
Very shocking.
67.
Enjoy every day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.